I'm trying to think of anything that could help. Do you have like a humidifier or a vaporizer? Don't they, Bobby? I keep saying, like, especially if you have a runny nose, I feel like that is the absolute worst. But anyways, I personally think if you're going to be a landlord who doesn't allow pets, children are as destructive, if not more, than pets sometimes. Um, but I watch my neighbors. They have at least 8 dogs, and the only two of them ever come outside to use the bathroom. Ever. Ever. And like, luckily, the family owns the house. The grandma who lived next door to us, she was my grandma's best friend, and she passed away a few years ago. And left her house to her oldest daughter, and the oldest daughter let the grandchild live there. So, like, they aren't renting it and destroying it, but still, like, there are people just like them that rent and let the house get destroyed. Like, those dogs never go outside. And I've tried calling animal control, and they will not do anything. They will not do anything. We've rescued kittens because they won't get their cats fixed. That's actually how we ended up with so many cats. Because they threw them outside. I don't know, because they used to come outside, but when they'd bring them outside, they would never leash them or tie them up. They basically roamed the road. And they kept several times almost getting hit, because basically they started off with 4 dogs. Annie is a pit bull. Cuddles is a Shih Tzu, and then the girlfriend brought in a Australian Lab and this little pit mix. Well, none of them were fixed, and so the pit mix got a hold of the pit bull. And they tried to sell the puppies off as full-blown pit bulls, and they were not able to sell any of the puppies. So they are stuck with all of the puppies. So these puppies were always roaming the road, and they didn't pay attention to cars, and they kept getting almost hit. And finally, we called animal control. Animal control wouldn't do anything. We were told to contact the police, but with Annie, her name's Annie, being a pit bull, we were afraid that it would not go over well if the police showed up, especially because she's not aggressive, but because she doesn't get a lot of attention, she like runs at you. And like, it would break my heart if something happened. So we just kept yelling at them. We would be like, your dogs are shitting in our yard. Your dog almost got hit by a car. You need to watch your dogs. And finally, I think they got tired of listening to us bitch, and they barricaded their one basement door. I'm a clean freak. I got candle warmers in every room. I vacuum every other day, shampoo the carpets every 3 months. Dishes go straight into the dishwasher, and you dust every weekend. Robert, you are officially a better housekeeper than I am. I mean, you definitely know when you walk into my house that I have cats, because we have 7 of them. You don't know by smell. Like, it's not like our house smells like a litter box or anything. They don't pee where they're not supposed to. My biggest issue is we have like vinyl fake hardwood flooring. We took that out instead of the carpet. It doesn't really matter how often you sweep. It is permanently cat hair everywhere. However, I am debating on making a ghetto contraption that I saw on TikTok. I just don't know what I would do with it when it's not in use. They definitely deserve better, and I wish that animal control would do something. But I feel like it's going to have to get completely out of hand, even more so than it already is. We've called them when they threw their kittens out. They threw the kittens out that we have now before they were even weaned off of the mom, and tried to say that they escaped out of the house. I was like, they can't walk. They pushed open a screen door and just walked out of the house. But so Brad saw this contraption on TikTok and he showed me, but you take a box fan and you take the filters for an air conditioner, and so you put 4 filters in a square and you duct tape the seams of that, and then you duct tape a box fan with the fan blowing into the ground, and it's supposed to suck up all the cat hair and then trap it in those filters and be a lot cheaper than buying another air purifier. In this house, cat hair is a condiment. That is the truest words have never been spoken. Because also ours all shed pretty bad. It is a very sad situation, but I've even offered to pay to get their dogs fixed. Last summer when I was making more money at shows, I offered to help pay to get them fixed, and they were like, oh, they have an appointment next week, and the next week would come and go, and I offered to drive them because they don't have a vehicle anymore. Everything. I was like, I will drive them, I will pay for it, I just need you to get them in a crate or on a leash and ready to go. Things would be such a problem. I don't know what I'm reading. The dog shed, the cat shed. For about 2 weeks after chemo, I shed. Yeah, my hair sheds a lot too, especially when I pull it out of my bun prints. This one seems a little bit thicker. Wider is the word I'm thinking of. Wider. It seems a little bit wider than the other yarns I used working up. You know what else? I put a poll on Facebook yesterday, and I don't know if anyone... I was still on Binge Bear's stream on my phone. I put a poll on Instagram yesterday. Oh, shit. They did answer. So people are torn, Bobby, between... B has got the less amount of votes for the cat couch. They are torn between A and C. right. I couldn't remember. Shit. I remembered I put a poll up on Instagram, but I couldn't remember what it was for. It was for that darn cat couch. If they're torn between A and C, the only thing is I do not look forward to making the 2 extra cushion. Like, I don't look forward to crocheting the extra cushion part. I agree. Prince. I also do not agree with the whole, like, looking on Facebook for a free pet because you don't want to pay $80 to, get one from a rescue or the Humane Society, because if you can't pay $80 for a cat that's completely fixed and has been evaluated, you do not need a pet. I agree to a certain extent. I do not agree with emotional support animals being allowed in public all the time, specifically more restaurants than anywhere, only because emotional support animals do not go through the training that service animals go through. They are not trained to react the same way. Like, I am all for an emotional support animal at home, in your car. If you travel and you want to take it to your hotel, fine. You don't need to take your cat to the gas station, to a restaurant. I don't know. Oh, hi, Unicorn. How are you? $865 on a $25 pet rat. I bet. So the same neighbors that have all the dogs, her last girlfriend bought 2 snakes. And they didn't want to continue to have to buy feeder mice, so they bought 3 rats. They bought 2 females and a male, and what they would do is they would switch the male between the 2 females' cages, let them get pregnant, and then pull the babies and feed them. I don't agree with live feeding my snake, so it's not anything I was into. But when the girlfriend left, she left her snakes and her rats, and they poisoned them and left the babies in the cage with the poisoned mom. And so, unfortunately, this is disturbing, and I apologize in advance, but, like, unfortunately, the babies started to eat on the mom because they weren't feeding or watering these rats either. Like, I walked over and I fed them a few times and gave them water. So they ended up eating on their mom, but she was poisoned. And Lakin told me, she's like, Mom, can we please keep them? And I'm terrified of rodents, but I was like, if you take care of them, fine. So we took in these 2 babies, and unfortunately, once we were able to gender them, we had a male and a female. And I called to see how much it would cost to get either one of them fixed. It was like 3 times as much as getting a dog or a cat fixed. I think the female was going to be $250 and the male was going to be $180. So I bet rats are expensive because they're considered exotic. So they get a higher, like, anything other than a cat or a dog is considered exotic, and so it automatically gets a higher price. Oh my gosh, Unicorn got kicked out because he hit 2 teachers and threw a chair at a kid. That's not your kid, right? Because your son's in PA. No, I'm crazy. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Onyx is an emotional support cat for me, but I wouldn't take him to the store with me unless, like, the pet store is fine. But, like, I worked at a gas station that also sold food, and the amount of times that we would see people bring in animals and they're like, it's a service animal. It is not a service animal. An actual service animal goes through months, if not years, of training to know how to react in certain situations and to be less reactive to certain situations. Right. Yeah, I knew they were considered an exotic pet. I do not like rats. Phoenix Fire said, thanks for the sub. We figured you had, I didn't know that you had fallen asleep, but I figured your meds and your cold had probably taken you down for the count for a little bit. Not your kid, your boyfriend's, that is good. But probably doing that for a reason. So I don't know. I am sorry you're dealing with that, and I hope you guys get it figured out soon. Did the child give a reason as to why? Like, did something happen? I feel like something had to have happened, but like... Phoenix, I finished an axolotl lighter holder. Oh, okay, so you'll find out later what's going on. Well, I hope you get it figured out. I know my friend has a problem with her kid acting out in school, but her kid is on the spectrum. And so the school never sends her home. They let her go and, like, figure out, like, why she's acting that way in that moment. This is the little axolotl lighter chapstick holder keychain I came up with. I don't know if I don't like it because of the yarn and all the white going on in the yarn. So I am going to make another one and see if I like it a little bit more. I don't have very many eyes, so I'm not making a lot of them. You like it? Everyone else said they liked it too, but I must be nitpicky because I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, what am I doing? Set it aside and look at it in a few days and see if you like it better. Well, I guess that's what I'm going to do because I was going to make this into one, but I forgot to add the little baubles for the legs. And I did write down my process, so if anyone wants that, Mama Rita said that she would help me write all of these into patterns that are hopefully understandable. Oh, Crafty. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That sounds like you guys are trying to do what you need to do. Maybe inpatient, they will be able to, like, I don't know, inpatient for my dad's alcoholism, which I know is a completely different thing, was the only thing that saved his life. Because they were able to, like, actually sit down and figure out what all was going on to why he felt like he needed to have alcohol. That is tough. Getting kids the right help can be a maze of trial and error. It really can. Dinner's out of the way. I hope your dinner was delicious. From Mossy to Madison Square to just... I don't know why I did that. It's fine. I don't really need to know row counts on it. I hope your dinner was delicious. I don't know what I'm eating tonight. I hope my food is thawed. So I actually completely understand that, Unicorn. Lorelai's birth father actually was the same way with his kids. When we dated, the whole time I didn't know that he even had other children. I knew he had one other child, and then after I left him, it came out that he had more. And the one child that he was with that I knew about, he has always walked in and out of that boy's life, and he has so many problems. They had to switch to homeschool for him, because his mom literally just could not get him out of bed because he's also a very big kid. Like, Lorelai's father was, is 6'2" and a little over 300 pounds, like just a big person. And so was his son. And his mom, unfortunately, was small. And like, she could not control him. And the in and out of the dad just did not help. Chicken and asparagus pie and roasted veggies. Well, I'm not a fan of asparagus, but man, chicken and roasted veggies sounds delightful. I don't know if you guys see how much slower. Like, I feel like it takes me so much longer to get anything done. The jellyfish looks like a boob right now. That's definitely going to catch up with her. And she's going to have a lot of explaining to do. That's like if my birth mother ever walks back into my life, she's going to have a lot of explaining to do. Like, how do you choose to just dote on one child? You've got 3. I don't know if you forgot that, but you created 3 children, not just one. You know, I was worried the whole beginning of my stream because I had my lighter on screen. I was worried that I would get in trouble. And then I remembered that Phoenix Fire burns the back of her eyes to keep them in place. And I'm like, oh. Maybe. My birth mother just blocked me and my sister on Facebook. I know I dropped my cell phone. I must have picked it up. Okay. Oh hell, I smell smoke on stream. I'm confused. Oh hell, I smoke on stream. I read it as, oh hell, I smell smoke on stream. I'm like, what? And people smoke weed on stream? For real? I didn't even think vapes were allowed. I thought you had to, like, go where they couldn't see you. Alright, Prince, have a nice lurk. Thank you for lurking and supporting my stream. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again before I get off. I'm going to be on for maybe another hour, hour and a half. I am the opposite. I am all up in my kids' business all of the time. People get away with everything on stream. Oh, it depends on state law or where you are in the world. I didn't know that. No feet cams allowed. I didn't know that. Because Brad and I always joke that I'm going to make an Only's fan and sell feet pics. No, it's not happening. There are half-dressed girls kissing the microphone. Listen, when I come to Twitch to watch something, I go to Makers and Crafters, and I do not leave that genre. Unless I happen to be in a gaming mood, which doesn't happen very often. And then I will literally search the game that I'm playing. Like, I was playing, I always say it wrong. Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. When it first came out, and so I watched a lot of people streaming it. Phoenix Fire is like laughing at people kissing microphones. That's a little much for my taste, personally. That's awesome. I really hope that I have that type of relationship with Lakin when she gets older, Mama Rita. Like, I know that we've had our issues. Like, I stayed with her dad for way too long. And it caused like a little bit of a rift. She trusts my cousin that lives with me a little bit more. But I feel like she's gotten a lot better. Like, I feel like she has to at least like me somewhat. Like, when it was my birthday, she went out and bought me a whole smorgasbord of candy. Like, if my kid didn't like me, she probably wouldn't do that, right? Crafty Unicorn, I mean, we have hot tub streams. I didn't know that. Didn't even open the hot tub streams. I'm thinking about making some that are just plain, like this. Because I could sell them a little bit cheaper, but I don't know if I should still attach them to a keychain. Because I think the point of attaching them to something is so they're not lost. Like, you always have that one. I'm lucky I have great kids, both my biological and then the 2 bonus kids I got. That's awesome. And it's really cool that your bonus children are so cool with you. I will give opinions but never yell if she came with something wrong. I don't know. I don't do that. Like, I yell if I feel like it's needed. But we always try to talk about everything first. But, like, certain things I have yelled about. Like, if I've already told you 4 times to keep your shit out of the living room, their favorite thing is leaving shit in the living room. I'm like, this is a communal area. This is not for everyone's stuff. But I yell at everyone in the house. That and dishes, like, Lakin is very, very bad about, like, if I've left a sink full of water for dishes to soak, she'll make the messiest freaking food I've ever seen in my life. And just not rinse it out or anything, just stick it in my water. And I'm like, so you won't wash dishes. She doesn't wash dishes. She helps me with laundry. But, like, the one thing she was like, I don't want to clean litter boxes and I don't want to do dishes. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, so you don't want to put your hands in dirty dishwater, but you won't make sure to rinse your stuff out so that I don't have to? Like, don't you think that's a little rude? I'm like, why? That, and I can't say anything because, and I've never yelled at her about this because same. She has texture issues with noodles, so she only likes angel hair pasta, and she has to blend, not even blend, she takes the sifter for the flour. We have, like, the old sifters with, like, the little metal grates. She takes that and she pours the can of spaghetti sauce in it, and then she takes a spoon and she just keeps rubbing it until all the sauce is gone through, and then expects me, like, just throws the little grate thing to sit there to dry, which it dries relatively quickly. And I'm like, child, I will beat your ass. I am not about to try to scrub spaghetti sauce out of those little tiny grids of wire. We don't have a dishwasher. I do all of my dishes by hand. If I'm washing the dishes, at least they can do is rinse them. That and leave me the last effing fork. I've literally lost my marbles over not having the last fork. Hi, Kookie. How are you? Yes, she does not like the pieces of tomato. And again, I don't like the texture of tomato, so I'm not going to yell at you, but don't make a mess in my kitchen and leave it. I did. I actually ended up throwing that sifter away. And she's like, why? And I was like, I had to let it soak so many times because you let the sauce so dry on it. I was like, it rusted. So she's gotten better about rinsing it. I told her to put the shit through a blender. We have a NutriBullet that Brad's boss gave us. And, she says it's not the same. It doesn't get the tomato chunks out. I'm like, it's a NutriBullet. Like, that's literally what it was made for. Like, you make baby food with a NutriBullet. How are you today, Kookie? Your name is Sushant, right? I fell down the stairs the other day because they left drumsticks on the stairs. No way. Okay. I hope you didn't hurt yourself. That would piss me off. Not gonna lie. We do not leave things on the stairs. I actually typically will go through when I'm cleaning, and it's just something I started. I don't know. I saw it on a TikTok post about ADHD, and I've been using it since then. But when I clean, I start off with a bunch of baskets in the middle of the floor, and if it doesn't belong in that room, it goes into a basket. And then I'll leave their baskets on the stove, which is right beside the stairs to go down the basement. I'm like, make sure you take your basket of shit. And then I fell up them today because there's shoes on the stairs. Not, oh, no, we cannot have that, my darling. I am not sure what I am doing here, so this is just me playing around with the new design, just so we're all aware. See down in the stairs while coming down. Be careful. Oh, I just don't allow, like, I don't let them. And I know it's probably harder for you, Unicorn, because you're living in somebody else's house. But my kids do not, like, they know. My younger one does it a lot more than my oldest. But they know they are not allowed to leave stuff in the living room because that is the communal area. You don't leave stuff in the kitchen. The bathroom. They have a bathroom downstairs in the basement. They can leave whatever in the hell they want in that bathroom, but you are not coming up into my bathroom and leaving stuff. Like I said, Lorelai's a little worse because she is a very forgetful 8-year-old. I feel that. I feel that, unicorn. I do all the cleaning here, and it is sometimes exhausting. Brad does the trash on Thursdays. No, Wednesday nights. He does the trash. I get all the trash kind of ready. Like, I empty the litter boxes. He will if I haven't done it yet. But I empty the litter boxes most of the time before he gets home from work. And then he takes that to the garbage. Lakin will help me with washing and drying the laundry. She doesn't like to fold it, and it's my laundry. I'm not going to make you fold my laundry and Brad's laundry. And Lorelai helps me match socks. My day has been well so far, Sushant. How has yours been? I am working on some different stuff today. I'm not doing amigurumi, so that's a little bit different. It's hot today. It's actually cold. It's colder here than it has been last week. It's in the 60s here. Like low 60s. I think the high for today is 61. How hot is it there? I did not sell out at my show, Unicorn. I took about $1,500 worth of inventory, and I sold about $500 worth. Oh, I had to Google Celsius to Fahrenheit, but that means you're almost up to 90. That's what we were last week. I hope it cools down for you. I am making what I hope to be lighter or chapstick keychains. I have a different type of show. Not this upcoming Thursday, but the Thursday after that. It's more of an adult themed. So I am excited to work on some different stuff. I don't know why the hell I just cut that. Ew, it rained yesterday, so that also probably means it's muggy. I haven't made a vulva yet. I haven't made the vulva yet. I don't know what I'm going to do the vulva in. I also have to buy the pattern for that, or find a pattern for it. Because I had bought the peen patterns a long time ago. I don't think I bought the vulva. And I'm also really afraid to make them too large. Because obviously the price would go up, and I don't want, since I'm going to try to use primarily worsted weight yarn for this show. I just literally laughed out loud. Well, you know, I realized what I said as I was saying it. I gotta run to Home Depot today. What is that, a dinosaur? Baronix Chump. I like it. I'm trying to get this yarn to cooperate. You know what I did? Again, I lost my large needle. The metal one. with the, I'm gonna end up burning myself. Oh, shit. With the large eye. It might be out in my car. Because I didn't finish, before the show, I didn't finish a few of my items. So I took them with me. Why is my life difficult like this? Paint that niddle with yellow color. I know, right? So I don't lose it anymore. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but on, well, I'll show you. If I can get this off. What the hell? Gotta go charge it. Sorry. It's okay. I hope that everything gets worked out, and if you need an ear to listen later after the boyfriend talks to the child, you can always message me on Instagram. Rita, you're putting an air conditioner in a window? I hope you are not doing that all by yourself, my love. Anyways, I used to work with resin a lot, and I made this, and it's dirty now, but it is just a coaster, but I put a rare earth magnet in it, and so you would think that I would not lose my needles, but I still do. Oh, you reminded me, Insta message. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, Brad. Any advice on how to make the hexagon with the magnet in it? Mama Rita? Because for a cheaper way to do it, I suppose you could probably actually go to any hardware store if you don't want to make it, because I made it with resin. I don't use UV resin because it smells bad and it gives me a headache. But hardware stores like Home Depot sells their little stainless steel bowls that are magnetic. And I don't think that they're very expensive. That one I used actual 2-part resin that you have to mix together, and then you have to have a silicone mold, and then you have to have a strong enough magnet, which is why I think probably for you, if you don't want to get into all that, the hardware store might be easier. You made a magnet bowl? The funny thing is, it also actually, look, Unicorn is going to order resin soon, and so she could probably make some. I used, if you decide to Unicorn, I used rare earth magnets. I bought them in bulk off of Amazon. I will say that if I had to do them over, I would probably use more. No, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Use one bigger flat magnet, because when I first started making them, I tried to use 3 smaller magnets, And they are, rare earth magnets are very strong. So they would slowly, in the resin, like group together and mess everything up. I get a gift set of mold to make a coaster, but in the sky of millions. I wonder what kind of mold it is. If it's silicone, you could probably use, I would still use a 2-part resin, Mama Rita. And Hobby Lobby sells 2-part resin. I don't know if Michael's does. So I'd have to look into that for you. But use a 2-part resin if you're wanting to try them. It is silicone. Okay, because the only other thing I could think of is concrete. If you wanted, it would be cheaper. But I mean, it's literally going to be concrete, and I don't think you could put a magnet in it. I don't think the magnet would be strong enough to go through the concrete, but I'm not sure. I like the ones. Have you seen Unicorn? Have you seen where they're making it and it's almost like terracotta, but it's not? It's like a white. Okay, if you don't want the magnet, a cheap option would be to buy a bag of concrete mix. Make sure you mix it up real smooth, and you could do little concrete coasters and then like paint pictures on the inside. I think that would be cool. Jesmonite. Is that what it's called? I think it looks gorgeous, but I also love terracotta. Like, yep, Jesmonite. Is it hard to work with? Is that why you hate it? I'm trying to get this to go through. I apologize. In the sky of a million stars, flickers, flickers. It's basically just a lighter concrete. Gotcha. I actually want to do, have you seen, so I lie. There are multiple things that I want to do. All right, I'll see you, and I will be looking forward to your message. It's a lighter keychain holder, but a different style. But bye, Unicorn. I will talk to you later. Look, I love that it can fit both. It fits both the chapstick and the lighter. So far I have an axolotl in a keychain style mushroom on a leash, and then that one. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like my choice. So lemon stay so fucking messy. It even fits the small tube. So I just, Bobby and Mama Rita and anyone else who would like to answer, how much do you think I should sell these for? Do you have a recommendation? $7. I really wish I worked better with worsted weight yarn. I mean, realistically, the highest price that I thought I could get out of it would probably be $10. But that's based on some things I saw on Etsy. However, I think 7's more appropriate. I just worsted weight yarn stuff takes me a lot longer to make. I have been streaming for almost 4 hours, and I have only made a mini Bic, keychain, this, and this in 4 hours. Where I know that you guys have seen, like, typically I can, like, whip some stuff out. So that's kind of it. But I also wanted, I think I'm going to do this whole show in just worsted weight yarn. Except for maybe some of my stuffed animals. And see how that goes. I have been chatting as well. That is true. And the other thing is, I did say I am using just single stitches. I'm sure I could do half doubles and kind of achieve the same thing, but I don't know, because then I won't want to sell these because they're made different. Try both. There is market for both yarn. See, I personally love worsted weight yarn because I think it holds up better. It's just, it takes me a long time. The more you do, the faster you get. That is true, because I spent part of the time trying to just write down the pattern. Probably binge. I'd have to find a pattern at least for the base part of it. You are talking about the kind from, like, the Matilda movie that the mom wears. I really should have cleaned my trunk out. I haven't even taken my shit from my show out of my trunk. And I'm supposed to go to the grocery store after I get off of here. Would you have, like, binge? I can't work on it right now because I got to get ready for this show. But would you want, like, a specific character? Or are you just asking in general? Like, honestly, I probably wouldn't just make one to try to sell. But I would not be opposed to making you one. I still have stuff from the last show I did in Thanksgiving. I did Thanksgiving weekend in my trunk. That is hilarious. Because same. There are still price signs in my trunk that came from the end of summer's shows. Was just an idea, was thinking of making one for myself. Or ear covers. How would you do, like, when you say ear covers, I'm imagining, like, the big poofy things for, like, ice skating. And I think that one would be pretty easy, especially if you found maybe even like an old set of earphones. Oh, guys. Oh, no. I will be right back. I have to go potty. Alright, I'm back. I'm like too cold without my blanket on, but I am too hot with it on. So, I will be right back. I'm going to check to make sure our air's on or off. If the air heat was on, that's all. Okay, so our heat is on. This is the infamous washcloth that took me 4.5 hours to make. Is that not ridiculous? Like 4.5 hours. I'm hoping, Benj, that I can find some of this yarn to maybe make some rainbow stuff out of. Yay me, I almost went down in the air. You almost, like, you aren't trying to say that you almost fell with the air conditioner, are you? Because if so, I might yell at you and tell you that you should have waited for your daughter to help you. Thank you. I like that yarn, but my sister bought it, and it is from Hobby Lobby. I can't stand Hobby Lobby. Somebody said that I should try to figure out where I could wholesale buy the Hobby Lobby yarn. You held it by the wire? I wish I was closer to you. I could have helped. I would have had to FaceTime Bradley because I've never put in an AC unit, but the anxiety support group that I am debating on going to tonight, Mama Rita, is at Panera Bread, and it makes me think of you saying that you liked their, wasn't it a lemonade? Well, I'm sorry that you got stuck doing that by yourself and it was hard. That makes me sad for you. I knew it was something lemonade. I love raspberry lemonade. Oh, your daughter took you on Saturday? That's fun. I don't know if I'm going to go this time, only because I've literally put off grocery shopping for as long as I can. I can't do it anymore. Binge, did you ever make your teapot cozy? I know you haven't been crafting a whole lot with the move, but I remembered you had said you wanted to make a teapot cozy. Oh, goodness. But you got juice. I'm glad she took you to Panera Bread. I took Grammy to church this weekend. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. So. Oh, but you did start it? That's cool. I don't know that I would have the patience to do a teapot cozy. I think I'd want one because we have a teapot. We actually have 3 because we suck. You love to sit with her and just chat. That's awesome. I really hope that that's the kind of relationship that I have with my girls. You know, right now the one is 9, and so she's like, I'm gonna live